In the heart of Rome, surrounded by high stone walls and guarded by the Swiss Guard, lies a fortress within a fortress. It is not a bank, it is not a military base, it is a library. But you cannot check books out of this library. You cannot browse the shelves. You cannot even enter the building without specific, written permission from the Holy See. This is the Archivum Secretum Apostolicum Vaticanum, the Vatican Secret Archives. Officially, the Church says secret simply means private. They claim it is just the paperwork of the popes. But if it is just paperwork, why are there 53 miles of shelving buried deep underground? Why are there sections of the bunker that have not been opened to any human eyes for centuries? And why does the Vatican maintain the oldest and most sophisticated intelligence agency on Earth to guard it? Today, we are going to walk past the Swiss guards. We are going to descend into the climate-controlled vaults. We are going to look for the documents that historians have whispered about for hundreds of years. We will investigate the Grand Grimoire, the book that allegedly summons Lucifer. We will look for the lost genealogy of Jesus Christ. And we will ask, is the Vatican hiding the true history of humanity? To understand the scale of the secret, you must understand the timeline. The Church has been collecting data for 2,000 years. Long before the CIA, the KGB, or the NSA, there was the confessional. For 20 centuries, every king, every queen, and every general whispered their darkest secrets to a priest. And those priests reported to bishops, who reported to Rome. The archives are not just a library. They are the blackmail folder of the Western world. But the most dangerous items in the vaults are not political. They are supernatural. Legend says that when the Library of Alexandria burned, not everything was lost. The most valuable scrolls, the ones containing the pre-flood knowledge of Atlantis and Egypt, were smuggled out. They were taken to Rome. They became the foundation of the Vatican's power. Let's start with the most infamous book rumored to be down there. The Grand Grimoire, also known as the Red Dragon. This is said to be the most potent occult text in existence. It was allegedly written in the year 1522. But the author is unknown. Some say it was written by a man possessed by Satan himself. The book is said to contain the exact ritual to summon Lucifer, the Prime Minister of Hell. It details how to make a pact with him, how to trade your eternal soul for limitless earthly power and riches. Why would the Holy Church keep such a book? Why not burn it? Unless the Church doesn't want to destroy it. Unless they want to use it. There are rumors that every new pope is taken to the archives upon his election. He is shown the grimoire. He is shown the true history. And he is given a choice. This aligns with the warnings in the Codex Gigas we discussed previously. The separation between the holy and the demonic is thinner than we think, but the grimoire is just one book. There are thousands of others. There is the Liber Linteus, the only book written on linen. It was found wrapped around an Egyptian mummy. The text is in Etruscan, a language almost nobody can read. But the Vatican has translated it. What does it say? Does it contain the history of the refugees who fled the destruction of the Eye of the Sahara? Does it explain the technology of the pyramids? The silence from Rome is deafening. Then there is the correspondence of the Templars. In 1307, the Knights Templar were arrested on Friday the 13th. They were accused of worshipping a head called Baphomet. The Vatican holds the Chinon Parchment. For 700 years, the Church claimed the Templars were heretics. But when this parchment was finally leaked in 2001, it proved the opposite. It proved that the Pope had secretly absolved the Templars. He knew they were innocent. But he let them burn at the stake anyway to please the King of France. If they lied about the Templars for 7 centuries, what else are they lying about? Consider the bloodline of Jesus. The official story is that Jesus died on the cross, rose again, and ascended to heaven. He had no children. But the archives allegedly contain the Toledot Yeshu and other suppressed Gospels. These texts suggest a different story. They suggest Jesus survived. He married Mary Magdalene. He traveled to France or Britain. He had children. If true, this means there are living descendants of Christ walking the earth today. This would destroy the entire theology of the Church. If Jesus was a man with a family, he wasn't a celibate God. He was a king. And the Church is merely a usurper sitting on his throne. This is the Da Vinci Code theory, but the evidence isn't in a fiction book. It is likely in a box in the bunker. But let's go deeper. Let's talk about the Third Secret of Fatima. In 1917, in Portugal, 3 children claimed to see the Virgin Mary. She gave them 3 secrets. The first 2 were revealed: a vision of hell and the end of World War I. But the third secret was kept hidden. It was supposed to be released in 1960. But when 1960 came, the Vatican refused. They said the world was not ready. It wasn't released until the year 2000. And when they finally published it, it was a disappointment. It was a vague vision of a pope being killed. Most Catholics didn't buy it. They felt it was a fake. Father Malachi Martin, a Jesuit priest who had read the real secret, broke his silence before he died. He said the true third secret was not about a pope. It was about an apocalypse. He said it described a massive cataclysm. 3 days of darkness, where fire would fall from the sky. Does this sound familiar? It sounds exactly like the pole shift described by Chan Thomas in the Adam and Eve story. It sounds like the nuclear war of the Mahabharata. Did the Virgin Mary warn the world about the cyclical reset? And did the Vatican hide it to prevent panic? Or did they hide it because they are building their own bunkers? The Vatican owns a massive telescope in Arizona. It is built on Mount Graham. And yes, the infrared scope is officially named L.U.C.I.F.E.R, Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility, with camera and integral field unit for extragalactic research. Why would the Church name their device after the devil? It feels like a joke at our expense. But the question is, what are they looking for? They are looking for something approaching the Earth. Father Gabriel Funes, the Vatican's chief astronomer, shocked the world when he said, "It is okay to believe in aliens." He said that, "The alien is my brother." He admitted that the universe is teeming with life. Why this sudden change? For centuries, they burned people for saying there were other worlds. Now they are looking for them. The theory is that the secret archives contain the Omega file. This file supposedly details the Church's contact with extraterrestrials, or the Watchers from the Book of Enoch. If the Vatican knows that the gods of the Bible were actually advanced beings, it changes everything. It means that religion is a cargo cult. A way to explain contact with a superior species. There are reports of a strange skull found under the altar of St. Peter's Basilica during excavations in the 1940s. It was not human. It had an elongated cranium, like the Paracas skulls of Peru. Was it a Nephilim? Was it an alien hybrid? The bones disappeared into the archives, never to be seen again. And what about the Chronovisor? We discussed Father Ernetti's time machine in the last video. Before he died, he said the machine was dismantled and the plans were deposited in the secret archives. This means the blueprints for a time-viewing device are sitting on a shelf right now. The Vatican has the technology to view the crucifixion, to view the building of the pyramids, to view the signing of the Constitution. Imagine the power of that knowledge. You would know exactly who lied, exactly who killed whom. You would know the location of every lost treasure in history, the Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, the gold of Atlantis. Perhaps that is how the Vatican became so wealthy. They didn't just have faith, they had inside information. The archives are split into 2 sections, the Miscellanea and the Fondo. Scholars are allowed into the Miscellanea. They can look at letters from Abraham Lincoln or Henry VIII. But the deep vaults, the ones with the reinforced steel doors, no one goes in there. There is a rumor of a section called the Hell Vault. It allegedly contains artifacts that are too dangerous to exist in the physical world. Cursed objects. Demonic idols seized during the Crusades. The original emerald tablets of Thoth. Objects that radiate energy. Objects that whisper to you if you stand too close. The Swiss Guard swears an oath to protect the Pope with their lives. But maybe their real job is to protect the world from what is in that basement. Think about the S.I.V, the Servizio Informazioni del Vaticano, the Vatican Secret Service. It is older than the Mossad, older than MI6. They have agents in every corner of the globe, Every priest is potentially an informant. Their network of information is unparalleled. If a UFO crashes in Brazil, the local priest knows before the military, and that report goes straight to Rome. This explains why the Vatican often issues statements on scientific matters before the scientists do. They are not guessing. They are reading the files we are not allowed to see. The implications are terrifying. We live our lives based on a version of history taught in schools, but that version is a curated edit. It is a safe mode for the public. The real operating system of reality is hidden 50 feet underground in a bunker in Italy. If the doors of the archives were thrown open tomorrow, society would collapse. We would learn that our timeline is wrong, that our origins are different, that our religions are incomplete. We would learn that the magic of the past was just technology, and we would learn that the demons we fear are just interdimensional biology. The Vatican claims they are keeping these secrets for the protection of the faithful. But are they protecting our souls? Or are they protecting their own power? Knowledge is the ultimate currency. If you hold the monopoly on truth, you rule the world. The sheer volume of the archives, 53 miles, is hard to visualize. If you place the pages end to end, they would wrap around the equator. Millions of documents, millions of lives recorded, judged, and filed away. And among them are the missing pages of the Codex Gigas, the missing maps of Piri Reis, the missing blueprints of Tesla. It is the graveyard of the truth. But leaks are happening. The internet has made it harder to keep the doors shut. Hackers, whistleblowers, digital archaeologists. We are chipping away at the wall. The VatiLeaks scandal showed us that the Vatican is full of corruption and infighting. It is only a matter of time before someone leaks the Omega file, before someone snaps a photo of the Hell Vault. Until then, we can only connect the dots. We can look at the art in the Vatican. The pine cone statue representing the pineal gland, the murals of angels in flying machines. The symbolism is right there in plain sight. They are hiding the truth by putting it on the ceiling. The Vatican secret archives are the final boss of forbidden history. All roads lead to Rome, and all secrets end up in the dark. What do you think? Is the Vatican hiding the proof of aliens? Are they hiding the lineage of Jesus? Or is it just a bunch of boring tax records? Do you believe they have the Chronovisor Blueprints stored next to the Grand Grimoire? Let me know your theory in the comments. We have explored the secrets of the West. Now we must turn our eyes to the mysteries of the East. In the next video, we are going to look at a discovery that rewrites the history of engineering. We are going to investigate the Antikythera mechanism, a computer built 2,000 years ago, a device of bronze gears that could calculate the movement of the cosmos. How did the ancient Greeks have a computer when they were supposedly primitive? Did they find it in the wreckage of a Vimana? You need to be subscribed, because we are going to reverse engineer the impossible machine.